This is a very good development.
I was expecting minimum 20, we only had 3 leads.
Big update. We are updating Rupert.
A lot more robust and we can actually start selling it now, which is great. I'm a little bit terrified and I'm hoping it all goes okay.
Boom!
If you're new here, this is the road to 1,000 users where me and James are trying to get our new platform Rupert, a 24/7 social media assistant to help you manage your comment section, to 1,000 users by the end of 2025. This series is going to document the highs, lows and realities of building a tech startup after James sold his previous 2 companies to focus solely on Rupert. In case you missed it, the end of last week's episode saw James celebrating the fact that Rupert's development team had successfully fixed the login process and UI when connecting your accounts. So, today, after some more testing, James is sharing the results with co-worker Michael, that's me, before it goes live.
Let me show you the new staging. So this is a very good development. Obviously, as you know, we can't replicate Hootsuite exactly, frustratingly. So we've had to change tact a little bit.
The developers have changed the login process for connecting your accounts, so some users were having an issue by selecting the wrong permissions, meaning that their comments were not being pulled in correctly. This is now fixed by having those permissions preset. Also, the UI has been updated when you go to add your accounts, making it nice and clear to see which accounts you're selecting.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Again, it's not exactly what we wanted. It's a bit of a workaround. I'm still really happy with it. I think it's a lot better than what we had. But obviously what this now means is this will be finished this week. The lads really want to finish it by today. I'll put an email together for all the users we've currently got and say, you're going to have to reconnect your account. So what we're going to have to do is just make sure that anyone that is paying is reconnecting, because if they don't, obviously it's disconnected and it won't be working. The only thing I've said to the lads to do is put this together more. So like, so what I'm trying to say to see...
Where they're like grouped as twos.
Correct, yeah, the grouping needs to be looked at, whether it's like some light green behind it maybe, so you can see the, which ones are which. So that's the only thing I would say. And then obviously, like I said, if we can get it done Wednesday, we're gonna have no issues moving forward now. It's now just an acquisition play.
James and Michael then moved on to discussing the next road to 1,000 users, which was episode 2, if you want to go and check that one out. After the previous episode, we were trying to work out how we can structure these videos to tell a bit more of a story. This would make it more engaging for the viewers, but also mean it's easier to follow along with our journey. So I came up with the idea of putting an intro at the start of these videos going forward that gave a bit of background to the series and some context for the episode before we got into it. So I started working on this, which turned into what you see currently at the start of these videos. So we're constantly trying to iterate and improve on this storytelling aspect, and nothing's set in stone, but we are step by step improving these vlogs with each episode, trying to find the best way to capture and document our journey.
Got to get the story right, but it's not easy.
Right, I'm going on to a call with the guys at TC9. They have got some more copy for me to review because the results aren't great so far. No one said disappointed, but the guys said they'll get me a certain amount of leads a month. We're quite behind that volume for month 1. So month 1 is a bit of a gimme, but it's still money out of the account. So we need to figure out these copy changes, because I'm only going to give them another month to prove themselves because we're so far behind. I was expecting minimum 20, we only had 3 leads. But that's lead generation, okay, that's just reality. That's no disrespect to the guys, that's just what it is for the moment. Because of commercially where we are, I can't afford to give it too long. I need to see some results quickly. So could I put that resource into something else that's going to provide quicker wins? Potentially. Again, they've still got 4 weeks to prove themselves, and if not, we just move on and hopefully come back to these guys in a future month when we've got a bit more money.
The goal with this email marketing campaign initially was to target companies receiving over 500 comments a month, which will allow us to charge them more than the standard £89 a month. With the number of leads being still quite low, however, James and TC9 talk about potential strategies for generating more leads, such as changes to the email copy and targeting companies with less than 500 comments that still run a lot of Facebook ads to increase the scope of businesses that can be reached out to.
In terms of the volume of comments then, are we removing that filter from this particular campaign?
yeah, we're gonna remove it because it's really hard to find companies that have a lot of comments, and we're still searching for a way to find how many comments they have on all social media, but it's been quite a pain.
Okay. So just again, sort of just be really candid with this, guys, is that if they don't have more than 500, if I can get them on board, it means that the revenue that I'm going to produce per client is only £89. So if I'm still at only 6 leads, again, this is just me being open and honest, if I'm only at 6 by the end of this month and my average order value is only £89, I'm miles behind where I need to be.
Oh, of course.
Miles behind.
Yeah.
So hopefully this spikes, and because we've taken off the filter, there's more data to go at, and obviously people are more willing to take a quicker decision because they're a smaller brand, which would be brilliant, which would be fantastic. But I do have some slight concerns because of the now removing that filter. We've just got to be a little bit conscious of this, because obviously this is a change. I think this is the better route to go down, those running ads, because we're already investing in this platform, which makes sense. It's just how valuable is that customer, and what's the lifetime value of that one customer. That's the only thing that I need to be we all need to be just very conscious of. Brilliant. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Cheers to Nerve. Cheers, buddy. Okay, change of tack. Yeah, that's frustrating. It makes sense to go after those that are running ads. I said from day one that was probably the route to go down, so I'm glad that we've got that campaign running, or we're going to have that campaign running tomorrow. Just my concern on the volume of comments, because obviously if someone's had less than 500, it means that we can only invoice them £89 a month, which is, again, a great customer, because again, we're very sticky. But obviously when you look at how much these guys are charging per month, I need a lot of those to convert, because at the moment I don't know the lifetime value. If I knew the lifetime value was 3 years, then you'd go, okay, this makes total sense. But we don't have that data yet. So yeah, let's see how it goes. On positive, we've got a new user, Edge Creative, Jessica. She has connected her accounts and it's starting to pull through. It's really cool.
Big update. Tomorrow, the 22nd of January, Wednesday at midday, we are updating Rupert. We've done it. We have cracked the Meta API issues. So I say we, the guys at Pragmatic. Clearly it's not me. We've nailed it. So we are changing how people log in and connect their accounts or their pages to Rupert. It's been a real issue from day one. It's not been our fault, it's been Meta's issue, but we've overcome it and we're ready to go live tomorrow. We've done loads of testing, we've done it on staging. Now we have a staging site, which is brilliant. That's another conundrum that we've had to face, but that's probably for another good day, conversation for another day. That goes live tomorrow midday. We shouldn't have an issue because it should all be working absolutely fine. And yeah, we're ready to rock and roll basically. So big news, big update. I'm praying it goes well. There's no reason why it shouldn't. I'm hoping people that are using it will go back on and log in. If not, I'm going to get on the phone and make sure they do it. This now means that we can press forward with marketing. Although we had to change tact a little bit in terms of the users that had more than 500 comments, because obviously commercially I could look at onboarding them. Now we have this back on board, I can then go to my agency network and hopefully get some of those on. I want to hit 1,000 users, you know. We're losing money still, as you all know. I want people using Rupert. This is the key. So I'm happy to continue losing money as long as I'm getting more users. So the agency network is going to be really, really important for me. I really hope the agency world gets behind this and helps me, but the proof will be in the pudding. Good update, big update, some light at the end of the tunnel finally. It's time to sell Rupert, and also find out about a grant in 14 days time. I could really do with it.
Good morning, people. Today is a big day. We're deploying the updates at midday today. First one is we're changing the UI and the UX of how you connect your Facebook and Instagram pages into Rupert. It's going to make Rupert a lot more robust, and yeah, we can actually start selling it now, which is great. The second update is commenting outside of Rupert. So a few clients wanted to trial Rupert, but then they came up with a reason not to, which was a really valid reason, which was, what if someone comments to a comment outside of Rupert? Will then it show in Rupert that we've already responded to that comment? Because obviously what you don't want is a brand to respond to a comment twice, maybe different tonality. And it was a great point. I had pondered on it, but didn't think it was going to be so much of an issue. Just really being naive that everyone will just use Rupert all the time. That's not the case. So they're the two major features. There are some some features in the back end that are running, which I'll go through now. So when we're pulling comments from Facebook or Instagram, we get an authorization code, a key, and sometimes they just stop working because Meta's Meta. But the problem is, if we don't spot it quickly enough, it could be a day, a couple hours before we notice it, the client notices it, and then they email us, and we have to then manually pull the comments back in that we've missed. Obviously that's frustrating, because if there's negative ones, Rupert then can't hide and quarantine those comments straight away. So we have deployed a bit of code in the background. We're going to run across every single account, every single half an hour, a checker to check that that is working. If it's not, the script will then automatically pull in comments that aren't there or have been missed. If we can't do it automatically, it then notifies the development team for them to do it manually. Yeah, some really cool updates. I'm excited to get them live, and we've only got a few hours, which is cool. If you haven't tried Rupert yet, go on, connect to your pages and see what comments you're missing out. See what comments haven't been hidden or quarantined that maybe you've missed on your paid ads, because naturally you'll miss stuff on paid. So that's it, all our users are going to be notified. Like I said, we've got 2.5 hours before that goes live. I've actually got a LinkedIn live at 11 as well today, which is cool. And then I'm in the office with Wendy, finance meeting as always, which at the moment they're not very fun. Hopefully, obviously, with this change and this tweak, this is going to make a huge difference to our fortunes. So yeah, in a minute you'll probably see if it's gone well or not. LinkedIn Live is done, and now it's time for the developers to start working on deploying the new features. I'm a little bit terrified, and I'm hoping it all goes okay, but we'll soon find out. I was told to stop checking for bugs, James, by the developers, so I've decided to walk into work because it takes 40 minutes. And apparently, I've just had a text to say that all is good, ready to go. So I'm going to go check, and then I'm going to email all our users to say go and reconnect. They are already connected, so they don't need to reconnect. But just in terms of the robustness of the new design, I want them to go and do that, and obviously we can see how they're using it. So hopefully everyone can do that today, and then they're all using Rupert, and hopefully more users will.
James left us on a cliffhanger here because he never actually filmed anything after this or anything else for the rest of the week. But rest assured, everything went fine. The update went live. So it's up to us to step up our marketing efforts now that the platform has been tightened up. On Friday, the 24th of January, James had a run with Big Bear Events. Shout out to Paul Alban. Here are some of his stats and some running action shots for those that are interested. But yes, another good week. The momentum is really building now for us at Rupert, which is really positive. If only we could now get Rupert in front of a few more eyeballs.
You can pitch to him direct.
He's worth 250 million.
We've been asking for an opportunity for a long time now. Let's sort of go for the juggler now. Let's really get seen.
Wow.